Fuck Joe Biden. You know what they saying, ho?
They'd be like, ho, you know what they're saying. Like,
oh, there's this comedy guy with Josh that you gotta hear. Oh, you might have heard it already. Hold on. We can start over.
Sense. Nothing makes fucking sense. Life makes no sense. You're on a planet right now. You think you're in America? Zoom out. You're on a space rock floating in nothingness, infinite nothingness, and the infinite nothingness is expanding. That means endlessness is getting bigger. That makes no fucking sense. We all just act like it's normal. Like, oh, everything's made of molecules. Okay. Got it. I'll never think about that again. This stool is made of molecules, the same molecules in my hand. And you know when I knock these molecules into these molecules, when we ask science why don't they go through each other, you know what the answer is? We don't know. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Virginia became nothing makes fucking nothing.
all right, Chris, today is Wednesday, the 27th of October. Wednesday, my dude. That's a good start. We're going to start with that. That's a good noise. So Ty was just playing me a video about basically having an existential solar system crisis, whatever you want to call it. Basically like the vast nothingness that surrounds us, that we're made up of all the same things. It's you don't know.
Doesn't make any sense! Oh, now we're started.
Are we good now? Okay. All right, Chris. I don't know if the audio is working on the moment, but today is Wednesday, October 27th. We're going to get this fucking show on the road. Okay, you ready, Tyler?
Yeah.
So Tyler just played me a video about a comedian talking about basically how nothing makes any sense and like the infinite system that is the black nothingness that surrounds our planet is expanding into infinite nothingness.
Yeah.
And so the time that always hits me is, I have, everybody kind of has their bedtime ritual. I don't know if this is a TMI of everybody, but bedtime ritual. Okay. I have and they always say like, oh, you're not supposed to use your phone an hour before bed or something like that. I switched the settings to nighttime, so it's like the less blue light.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you know what helps with that? Is if you just don't even look at your phone.
If you just pull a Tyler and you just...
I should write a book of how to disconnect from your phone.
You're really good at it.
I'm freaking awesome at it. I'm like the best. Like if they're like, I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT of not checking your phone.
You're one of those guys. But the one that always gets me is so before I go to bed, there's a website or an app, and I never say the name right, and I'm always worried I say it wrong. But Imgur, IMGUR.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no. Has a green unicorn as its logo, right? And I always browse the news section, and I go up to 60 posts because then it makes you refresh the page. And usually by 60 posts, I am ready to go sleep. And so I tune out, detune, it could be anything. It could be I'm struggling with addiction, and it's everybody like talking about like just posting and being supportive, or here are 15 pictures of aircraft carriers and what they did in their tours of duty. It's literally anything.
Wow.
Sometimes it takes me forever to get through 60. Sometimes there's a bunch of shit. It could be memes. It could be anything compared to anything.
Okay.
Lots of random stuff. Weird community. Weird freaking community. Okay. Lots of weird stuff. Try not to get too far deep. There's a lot of black holes. I don't go in any of the subsections. I just stick with what's new.
Gotcha.
Not hot. New.
Okay.
And if you're in that app, you know what I'm talking about. There's a new section and there's a hot section. The hot is like if it's like getting lots of upvotes and stuff like that. I just go to new. I want to see the new stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that stuff, that'll keep you up at night. Like, we are just on a massive rock,
Yeah.
hurtling through space, spinning.
Okay. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that documentary that I told you? That
The
would
Flat
drive you-
Earth?
Yeah.
I started watching it, and I'll be honest.
Does it make you mad?
No. Okay, actually, I didn't even get to start watching it. I had the intention of putting it on, but it was one of the days where it was me and the little dude home all day, and I was the weekend.
You don't want to infect his brain with it.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like he's obviously like he's really good about as far as like TV stuff and screen time. Like obviously we monitor that, and our kind of tipping point is if our son ever. If you give him the option to play or go do something, and he says, "I'd rather watch TV first, or I'd rather play with my iPad first," gone.
Yeah.
And so far, he's good. Anytime it's like, "Hey, dude, you want to go? You want to the back and like swing?" Yes. Hey, you want to play catch? Yes. Hey, you want to build a train set? Yes. It's the if he ever like chooses TV over human interaction, then it becomes a hard line.
Yeah.
Like so that's kind of our guide with that. And so he's like building a train set. And I'm like building it with him, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll throw this flat earther thing.
I got to tell you about one test they did. I'm not trying to interrupt you right now, but so they're like, okay, the Earth is flat, right? We're living in like the Truman Show
on a disc.
Yeah. They did this test. I feel stupid even trying to explain it, but they're like, we're gonna stand here with a laser, and we're gonna have a guy, like 200 yards that way. If the Earth is round, a laser is not going to hit the same hole. But it's like they do the experiment, but they have like the cheap like Amazon laser. So when it hits like the other target, the laser beam is like 10 feet wide. So first of all, like my thinking of it is like, you idiots. The Earth is freaking huge, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to find the curve of the Earth, like, go to another freaking continent, bro. Like,
Yeah. Well, you got to have more of an arc to deal with there. You gotta
exactly. There's a lot of really flat areas that you can stand on.
and there have been like say a football field which has been graded flat.
Yeah.
Or certain places have been graded to be
I don't
flat.
know, like a road they were on that was like graded flat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
So
ridiculous.
The best test I ever saw with that, and if you live somewhere where there's a beach or you can see a sunset.
Oh, the best test I ever saw was like, I don't know, pictures from space.
Yeah. But the whole if you go and watch the sunset at the beach, and the sun is getting close to the horizon,
you can see
there is a difference from the way the sun looks if you stand up or if you sit down on the beach. Things look different because the sun is going down. And it's the angle that's basically angle of like a tack that's hitting you. Your viewable angle is like decreasing by the second.
Yeah.
So theoretically, someone who is on the roof, say on the beach house behind you, will experience the sunset longer than if you were laying flat on your stomach.
Sure.
Because the sun is going down, you're in the shadow now.
Right.
But anyways, science is science. That's just a freaking fact. But yeah, if you want to have an existential crisis and think about all the, like you're just basically, we're all made of space dust. Nothing's real. Spiral of death. Life means nothing. Everything. Think about that before you go to sleep. You want to have a good dream? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right.
You ever wonder why maybe you have sometimes on days or off days? When I come across, the post that the solar system post that I love the best, or just like space posts. There's two of them. One is when they start talking about how big other things are in our galaxy.
Yeah.
And they compare them to like, okay, here's Earth, here's the sun, here's this, and they go, bah, 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 bah. You see how big it is, and like, this is D942. It's a super red, blah blah blah, and whatever. Yeah. And then they show you just how tiny you are compared to this giant, massive thing, way far away.
Yeah.
I love those posts. I don't know what it is, but those things are cool. The other one that I love is when they show you how close or what planets would look like if they were as close as the moon on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So like they basically you take Jupiter and you put it where the moon is now. What would it look like on Earth? Because we'll see Jupiter's huge.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. You're looking like it takes up the whole freaking sky.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's our solar system. It's, whatever. This is
crazy.
Obviously super diesel related.
Yeah.
Life related, existential crisis, human man, America's Diesel Podcast. Brought it all back
That was
around.
a good tie-in.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ben and Tyler talking about existential crisis. Crises? Crises?
Crisises. Is it crisises?
Crisis.
Yeah, it says
Triceratops?
albatross.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. We'll get to diesel stuff. Don't worry.
Do you remember when I was drunk on a mountaintop and I told you that I saw an albatross?
Yes. you were very like. You were.
Dude, it was a giant bird, and I'm like taking a piss on this like ledge. I'm like, oh my God, man, it's a freaking albatross.
You know how like 4-year-olds are like, that's an articulating dump truck, Dad. Look at that thing. Tyler's, Ben, albatross.
This is like the only spot in the camping area that had phone service, and I like just happened to see that I missed a call from you, and I'm like calling you back like just like 2 cases of beer down. It's like, Ben, albatross. Just like, what the?
I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, it's an important time.
Then I brought you up to the spot where I saw
Yeah.
the albatross.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Ben and Tyler for America's Diesel Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I promise we talk about diesel things, not just existential crises and albatrosses. You can check us out on Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes,
gosh.
Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can find us on there by searching America's Diesel Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube. All of the visual representations that we just talked about, you can clearly not see on our YouTube show because we don't have the ability to do that because we're not computer nerds yet. Maybe soon. Who knows? I don't know. But if you want to leave a comment on a specific episode, we do have a small but growing community of people that comment on episodes. I respond to them. It's great. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I respond as Tyler. It's hilarious. Because his office is next time. I yell him the comments.
Yeah.
And he yells his response back to me.
Yeah.
And then I type them in because Tyler, again, is afraid of computers.
I'm not afraid, okay? It's just I respectfully separate myself
Whenever possible.
as much as possible.
Yeah. Social medias. Yes, you can find us on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks. Apparently, I've pretty much stopped checking that. So if you're sending me stuff on there, I haven't seen it.
Well, reviews.
Reviews are
That's
huge.
it's actually super imperative right now that we get 200 more 4.99999 to 5-star reviews. I don't think you can
That's
do
all
a
we accept.
499, but we need 200 of them. Okay,
Yeah.
we just trust me when I say we have to have it. So
We
the
gotta
last
level up.
episode, the last episode, I said, go steal your mother's phone, go steal your father's phone, go steal your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles. If there is one person,
Your coworker. I don't care.
yeah, we need 10 people that have 10 friends that don't listen to the podcast. You just need to take their phone from them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you take their phone and post a review on iTunes, 5-star, and state in the review, what did we say? Stole the phone.
So just and maybe take a video, take a picture, and when you email it, let me know.
Yeah, just let us know that you took someone's phone. Okay. So we've gotten I'm going to say harassed because I think it's the same person that's been harassing us, saying that we what we're doing with reviews is bad. Like we're
It is. It's illegal.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't read that law.
Don't care.
Okay. But yeah, screw that guy because I'm pretty sure it's one guy. He's probably got a podcast himself and he has no reviews. Or if he does, they're like 1-star. I'm just assuming.
I'm gonna find it.
I'm going to find it and I'm going to put a 1-star review.
I'm giving it a 2-star.
And I'm just going to
I
put
think the 2-star is more disrespectful than the 1-star.
2 stars pretty disrespectful. And I'm going to put I do not recommend.
Listened. Did not throw up. Do not recommend. 2 stars.
2 stars. Anyways, take a screenshot of your review, send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address so we can send a super sick sticker to it. Looks just like our awesome bald eagle, majestic flying being.
We need to name it. I promise we're gonna name it.
Well, yeah,
We had
did.
a whole thing. We did
Well, we'll send a sticker that looks just like that thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I have one on my truck. I've gotten so many compliments. Like, whoa, it's a nice sticker. I'm like, yeah, I know. You want one?
Wasn't for me.
Get a review.
Yeah. Get a review.
Yeah.
And make sure you send the screenshot.
Yeah.
Lastly, if you do need diesel parts for your truck, the best thing you can do is call our sales techs. They are on the phone at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. Their phone number is 888-993-4373. They will get you taken care of ASAP. And
Listen, at this point, there's no better diesel store to buy from. Listen, we've got a freaking podcast, okay, that you're listening to right now. That is, I think, the best diesel podcast in the country for the everyday person.
Yeah.
Okay, hands down, right? You didn't even, hands down.
10 out of 10.
So why wouldn't you buy your parts from the same people?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
And part of the reason you should is because
We're smart.
We talk about things like we're going to talk about today. We made an Instagram post 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And we basically asked you guys, what do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
If you have questions, post them up. And I literally wrote down all of them. I put them on an Excel sheet. I even screenshot it and I showed you guys. I put them all on there. You guys saw your questions. You're like, yeah, my questions are on there. It's cool, sick. I don't mean to say you guys all sound like 4-year-olds, but like, you know what I mean. So we are going to start picking them off one by one. And
Let's go.
This segment is going to be called, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Is that a sticky note over there?
Yeah, it's a sticky note.
I finally rubbed off on him a little bit.
Sticky note. I was the one who came in with printed out sheets
Yeah.
in like large font, and Tyler had like 3 sticky notes with
That
like
looked like
shapes.
a freaking 3-year-old. Like it's got like symbols on it. Like
Yeah.
don't even mean anything.
I wrote this spiral with a triangle next to a abacus.
Yeah.
And this is going to remind me to talk about compounds on Five Nights.
Half the time I come out here and I'll be like, what did I even write?
Yeah.
What is that?
I wrote notes, but I brought a bowl of nuts. I got it. Steel trap. It's up here. So, this first one, oh man, I totally forgot his name, but we pretty much did almost an entire episode on him beforehand. One of his questions was he wanted to put a snowplow on his L5P.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
He had like a 2020 L5P.
And we told him to not do that and go buy a shitty truck to put that on.
Yeah, and he responded. He was like, I figured that out basically pretty much on my own, but like,
Yeah.
he's like, thanks for the input. Because we dissected. We went pretty far into it.
Yeah.
We even recommended other trucks to buy and whatnot. And we basically ended with, bro, if you're, because he had like a separate daily driver. He's like, the truck just sits. I'm like, if you have an L5P, it's 2020 and just sitting, and you're considering putting a snowplow on it, like, nice flex.
Yeah.
That's tight. Like, hell yeah, dude. Like, whatever you're doing, you hired.
Yeah.
Like, not that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn, nice work. Like, congratulations.
Yeah.
But he left another question. I'm going to try and pull it up here real quick because, well, I have the question written down, but I can't remember his name, so I want to put that up here because I like giving you guys shout-outs. I will say some of the responses we got on there were hilarious. Some of my friends even chimed in, which was great because obviously there's some inside jokes happening there. Not you. Oh, one Ann Riggins. We are going to answer a question. Let's see for sure. Not today, but yeah, that was one of the ones I for sure. Sorry. Gosh, he was like one of the first guys to respond. He was like,
Come on,
way
man.
the hell down. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
But basically, so the question was lifting your daily driver. And I wanted to know basically more information on it because that's Rob Slater. Should you throw a huge lift on a family truck?
No.
I mean, good answer, but I wanted to know more.
Next.
I responded with, what is your definition of huge? Which truck? Tire size? How tall are you? How tall is your wife? And
Yeah.
are your kids still in car seats? Good questions.
Those are good questions. Yeah.
He says, well, I'm 5'6". I have a 2020 Duramax. You guys already talked me out of getting a snowplow. And I was like, oh, this guy.
Let's go. Okay. Yeah.
What's up, bro? So I want to put that money towards a lift, like a 7-inch lift with 37s. The wife says 37s and no lift. I like how she rolls.
Yeah, I like that.
But in parentheses, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. She says, also she drives the truck too, and we have 2 little guys to tow it around. Sweet. Okay. So little guys, I'm assuming, probably still in car seats or some sort of car seat, because basically nowadays with the laws they have now in car seats, I'm not saying they're bad, but I remember being real young, just hanging out in a seat. You get basically be like a car seat till like 12.
What year did you say it was? 2020?
2020 L5P.
Yep.
Thinking 37s. So here's the reason why I asked those questions. And I do fully acknowledge that L5Ps do sit fairly... I think the cab is actually fairly tall for what the truck is. It looks low because it has the valance on the front. Valance. And the bumpers sit real low for aerodynamics. But the cab itself is not like super close to the ground. So my main thing, after having my excursion, which actually has a fairly tall belly, if you think about it, even when you lift it, it's still fairly tall in the belly section where your car seats are going to be. Lifting a kid in and out of a car seat on an excursion with a 4.5-inch lift and 37s, it's kind of up there.
Yeah.
It's not terrible by any means, but like for me, I'm definitely working like in the up section of my body, like shoulders up, which means for my wife to buckle a kid in there, she is standing on the step, hunched over, in basically bent over, trying to get the kid buckled in there, which maybe this is the right thing to say or not, but my wife standing on the step of my truck, bent over, trying to figure out strapping my kid in the back seat. I've had worse things to look at.
Yeah, right. I'm just
so
trying to
maybe that's a selling point. I don't know. But again, I'm about 6 foot tall, and I got the torso of a man who's 7 foot tall. I got little tiny legs. You being around 5'6", I don't know. Maybe 37s and a lift on that truck maybe aren't going to work for you as far as putting kiddos in car seats. However, the other thing comes around. Can your kids buckle themselves in the car seat? Not a big deal. The other part there is, can your kids climb in and out easily to that? If you have to lift them in every time, you kind of defeat the whole process of, as they get older, being able to climb into stuff.
Gosh, I wish they would. I'm sure they're probably working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you right now, this would be way cooler than any big lift. Is if BDS makes that 2 to 3 inch coilover kit for the 2020 and up trucks, like that's doper than any big lift that you can put on that truck.
Yeah,
like getting rid of the torsion bars and doing an actual like Fox badass coilover up front with their badass lower A arms, like that would be sick.
Did they?
I don't know. We don't have it on the site.
So I know that, and I don't recall if it was an AT4 or not, but I know the AT4.
Here's the thing. I almost guarantee they're working on making that kit for those trucks because it's actually not that bad of a like price kit. But that to me, the biggest problem I have with like bigger like Duramaxes especially is just the amount of, like Ash says, it's like a lifted El Camino. Like it's just the bracketry. Like you don't really gain any ground clearance other than your tire size. Otherwise, you're just lifting like the body up. To me, I think it's kind of ugly. Like seeing all these brackets and I'm not a fan of it. I would rather me personally, I think what's cooler is a well working suspension that may not be as tall, but you've got really cool shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think that is cool. Like I see it all the time where guys have these lifts with these giant spacers on the coils, especially like Rams or Fords, big old lift blocks in the back. Yeah, it may look cool from like 30 feet away, but then when you start looking at it, you start seeing the not cool stuff about the lift. Gosh darn it!
I think for me, and knowing that you were considering putting a snowplow on your truck, obviously you're getting some weather enough to where you consider putting a freaking snowplow on your truck, and you don't even own a snowplow business. It was basically just for your driveway, like your neighborhood and whatnot. So you're getting some weather, so I could see the need or see the want to put a larger tire on there to get in and out, do your kind of thing and whatnot. For me, with kiddos, and this is coming off of, so
I sold my first excursion that had the 37s and the 4.5-inch lift when my son was still in a like a baby seat, like that clicks in. You know, like he wasn't getting in a car seat. He was in like a little baby,
Like a
holder.
booster seat kind of a thing.
No, not even that. So we're like you put the kid in like the kid carrier, and then it clicks into the base.
Oh,
into
gotcha.
the
Okay,
seat of the truck. Like now he's in like a forward facing car seat that we strap him in and whatnot. But the other one just and that's it.
Yeah.
So I being able to put him in there was fairly easy. My wife could not. For her it was like a two-handed above the shoulder, like take a step and have to like throw it in and click it in. And she's not like a super tall, nor she's a super short person. I think she's probably about 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah.
Oddly enough, we have basically the same inseam.
Do you really?
Yeah. I literally have like me. I have the torso of a man, like
I know you're
like a foot taller than myself.
Yeah.
I got these tiny legs.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's so funny. Me and Ben and I joke a lot about us having the same bodies. Like, there was the other day I was like, our offices are right next to each other. I went to the bathroom and I'm like walking in the door as he's walking out, and we just look at each other and we go, same body. Oh, yeah.
But the sad part, we said same body at the same time, in sync, same tone, same body. Like it was how's it going?
Yeah.
Same body.
Same body. I gotta go too.
We're synced up.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
So back to trucks. Okay. So getting a kiddo in and out of that truck, that's like, I want to focus on the 7-inch lift portion of this. That's a lot.
That's a lot of
A
lift.
7-inch lift on 37 is tall.
But but here's the thing, you have to do that lift if you want to put 37s on it. Unless you're gonna cut stuff, because those
unless it's an AT4. The AT4s have that, like you could like the suspension max.
even on
Because they have
BDS's
the
side.
bigger wheel
So
wells.
BDS does something really cool. Well, they'll do like a wheel and tire combination on their kits.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that is a 3-inch. Let's just see what the 6.5. 6.5 does say 37s. But let's see, they got 5. 5-inch. Wow, they say 37s
With a fiver.
with a
Okay.
5. But that's still getting up there. That's still
That is.
up there.
And that's going to mean that your wheel choice is going to be very, very limited. Because the lower that truck is, the wheel wells become an issue.
Yeah, 20x9, 5-inch to 5.5-inch back spacing, or 20x10, same back spacing, or 17x. So actually, no, you can only run a 20x9 with a 5-inch to 5.5-inch back spacing for a 37. Once you go to a 20x10, they drop it down to a 35.
Okay. So it's the outside of the wheel that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which means get your sawzall out, bud.
Trimming may be required.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just putting that amount of lift on that truck and the stress it's going to put on the front end with stuff. If it were me, I would, just like Tyler's saying, the coilover conversion.
If they release it for that, I'm sure they are.
Well, yeah, they're still torsing because they have the AT4. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a coilover conversion. It's going to ride a hell of a lot better, and you're still going to be able to fit a larger tire on there.
Yeah.
You know, get yourself into maybe, I don't know if you're a big wheel kind of guy, you know, but if you're, I feel like Duramax guys generally are, just saying.
Yeah.
But, I mean, get yourself into a 20x10 with a meaty 35 on there or something like
Yeah. And then do like a bunch of like badass steering, like kryptonite stuff, or
all the bracing.
yeah. To me, like, again, when I look at a truck, you know, you walk up to a truck and you see like this big lifted truck with big tires on it. Looks cool, right? But then you start kind of picking apart. You start looking at all the other things. To me, what makes a cool truck is having a good look, and then you walk up to it and you start looking like, wow, this guy's got like all the badass steering. He's got like everything's proper. He doesn't have big lift blocks in the rear. It's a full leaf, or that is like, to a true truck guy like us, that's more pleasing to us than seeing just a big giant truck with big giant wheels and tires. It's when you start getting close and looking at the truck and going, oh, okay, well, that's just a giant freaking block there. Like, I hate looking at trucks with big blocks and seeing like, especially in the back where like the U-bolts are like not even straight because it's like so tall. Like that bugs me so much.
Yeah.
You're just screwing yourself with the overall ride of the truck. I mean, you've got the thing that looks cool, but then when you go to use it, it's just like, this is not fun.
No. Yeah. So I think the overall answer here is lift it, get some bigger, tasteful tires on there, tasteful wheels, but 7-inch and 37s, maybe a little much.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Those trucks are still relatively new. There's companies that are working on stuff like BDS. I haven't talked to them personally about that particular kit for those trucks, but I'm sure they're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are, like, that's the kit to wait for. Like that is it's going to ride good. It's going to work way better than torsion bars. You're still going to have the ability to go to a larger tire, but then you're going to have quality parts. And when, like, let's say you go to sell that truck, like someone that knows what they're looking at, like they're going to look at that truck and go, this dude knows, like this dude picked the right parts.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at Duramaxes for a while, and the Duramaxes that we're looking at, I'm like, I want a stock one. I do not want one because a lot of times too, when you do these giant lifts, there's no going back.
Yeah, you got to cut.
There's things that you need to cut to make it look like that. And again, it's just, I don't know. I've never been a fan of those just giant, lifted GMs. If you're going to do it, I think do it right. It doesn't, unless you're, again, this is kind of like a hard one because there's some people that really like that look. They want that big giant look, which is cool. It's totally fine. But there are things that you can do to make it not so cheap, I guess. Even though it's funny when you say make it not so cheap because the lift in general is going to be expensive as all hell. Mm-hmm. But there's like just those little things that they do to kind of cheapen it up, mm-hmm. which I don't. When a real truck guy's looking at it, they're like, meh.
Especially on a 2020 that you're going to be putting your family in.
Yeah.
And that you've already decided to not go the snowplow route. And assuming that you're trying to keep it.
Which I'm glad you didn't do the snowplow.
Yeah, dude, seriously, cheers. And keep it relatively nice for your family.
Yeah.
And keeping it safe for your family.
Yeah.
And keeping it riding well for your family.
Yeah.
Trust me, man, like, I dig that your wife's into 37s with no lift. That's tight. That's tight as hell.
Yeah.
And if she's down to like have someone actually like do the glass on there and anything like that to do like no lift 37s, do it.
Like look at our Project Warthog.
Yeah.
Like, that is a badass truck.
Yeah. But as cool as it is, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
That truck's gonna be in the shop for like a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at a little bit smaller size tire, a little bit, and also the other thing here too is you go to 37s, you're gonna want to regear.
Yep.
You start going to maybe like a 35-ish. You've heard us tout on here, like, get away without doing gears. A 35 and an L5P, I believe it's a 10-speed. You've got a little bit more wiggle room to work with.
Yeah.
You're not shooting yourself in the foot as hard as, say, doing 35s and 373s or something like that.
Right.
You're still in that wheelhouse. So it could save you money in the long run by going and doing, a smaller lift on the truck with, say, 35s-ish, but then doing all of the kryptonite front end parts, like all of like the big beefy stuff on the front end that just makes this truck. That's what takes it over the top.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have this, for all intents and purposes, an IFS truck with a bulletproof front end.
Yeah.
And that's gonna, in my mind, especially being somewhere like you're with a snowplow that it gets weather.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather know that I have a front end that's just like
yeah,
brick
bring it.
shit house. Like let's roll.
Yeah.
Like that would mean more to me than just big tires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. I hope that answers the question. If it didn't, leave more comments and we'll answer them. And thank you for leaving a good question, honestly.
Yeah.
That was cool. It's cool to answer 2 questions for a guy.
Yeah.
That's tight. So, next segment. Next segment is it's an answer for one of Tyler's things that he mentioned a few episodes ago. And it was so deep that it cut me to the core and I thought about it a lot. And I know that it was deep and it cut me to the core because Tyler doesn't even recall talking about it. And those are the kinds of things that cut me to the core.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, and I think that Corey was talking about too, like what would you do without? That type of thing.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned like, what if you like didn't have a truck, like you were not, and me being having a fairly, I snap to typically I'm either really like optimistic or I go straight down the circle of depression, like spiral of death.
Yeah.
Like so, Tyler mentioned he's like, yeah, what'd you have? You have like a Honda Accord, like what would you have? And I was like, I wouldn't have my wife. Straight up, like I don't think my wife would have wanted you to manage and drive a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tyler was like, "Oh shit, that's not what I meant." Like,
Yeah, right.
that's not. I pump the brakes. Like, let's keep it light and funny. I'm like, no, I wouldn't have my kids. Well, I got one right now. One about to pop out any day now. But like, I wouldn't have any of that. My life would be in shambles. I'd be a dead man. I don't want that.
All right, so let's dive into
It's like,
it.
wow. So I thought about it a lot. Okay, and I came up with an answer. Don't judge me. I'll put that out there, okay? Because we're already talking about if Ben just was never a truck guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that Ben. First off,
Yeah.
it's not the kind of Ben I want to associate with.
Right.
It's not the kind of Ben I want to be.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not. Straight up. But I can tell you, knowing what I know now, what kind of guy or vehicle guy I guess I would be, or what would be my like daily driver or go-to or something like that.
Yeah.
Honda Element.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did you just go like this?
So Corey just like fist pumped, like, yeah!
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Honda Element. That's what you would pick.
Yep. Tyler's in shock right now if you're not watching. Like, we have not talked about this whatsoever. I just dropped it on him.
Why? like a
Okay.
Honda Element.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, sir.
Okay. And I mean this in the most dick way ever. Like, have you ever been in one?
Thankfully, no.
Okay. Me, like, not me either, but like, I have. I've spent quite a bit of time in some of them. And
Where?
no, I was living in Cal. I had two friends that had Honda Element.
Okay. What kind of elements are those built for? None. California weather.
They were both all-wheel drive. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Okay.
You might as well just said like a Dodge Caravan.
Hell no.
Dude, I've seen Dodge Caravans freaking rock winter weather.
I know. Well, they make it an all-wheel drive. That's tight.
I've seen front wheel drive ones pass me on a pass.
Actually, we've talked about that before. Something about Dodge Caravans. They're
Just always passing me.
But Honda Elements, okay, if you've never been in a Honda Element, they are...
Am I dead yet?
That's the microphone on Tyler's forehead. So, in my opinion, as far as like as a small vehicle, they're the most utilitarian. And I'm going to start describing the insides a little bit here, and I'll hopefully gain a little bit more. You remember like the old Land Cruisers, where they like the back row doesn't fold down, doesn't fold back, it folds up into the sides.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Like the
Elements.
back seat of a Ford Ranger. Like a little tiny back seat that folds
No,
up.
they're not jump seats, but they actually like they when you don't use them, if you don't want them in the vehicle, they kind of fold up and out of the way.
Oh.
They're still
sounds
exposed.
amazing.
Yeah. I can tell this conversation is going to go But the back seats are super easy to take out. They're not just one big long bench. There's actually two portions, makes it very easy to take out.
Mm.
The roof is essentially removable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I've carried a tree in those motherfuckers before, okay? All right.
Oh,
Next.
man.
The overall height inside is way bigger than you think it would be. I'm talking in one Honda Element, a Gixxer, and a dirt bike inside.
You lost me at Honda Element.
I know.
I'm seriously in like I don't, we should probably put this, but Ben, you just lost all credibility.
It's purely purpose driven. You take away anything that like I associate.
Could you pick something like more American, like a Tahoe?
You said no SUVs, no big SUVs.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah.
Okay. What about like a Trailblazer? Sounds like the same size as a Element.
You see? Hell no, not even close. A
Oh, here, oh, you wanna see
Trailblazer?
a Honda Element? Here, I got one for you right here.
A Trailblazer? I guarantee you, 10 times out of 10, you can fit more stuff in an
Man,
Element
I'm
than a
telling
Blazer.
you right now. Okay, so we talked about the last episode where I can't really think of things like right at the present time. You've like got me in like a state of shock. A Honda Element.
Hell yeah.
We
All
just
those
got talking about how a Honda Ridgeline was not a man truck. Like
Hell no.
you couldn't get any more feminine than a Honda Element. Were you working at Starbucks? You a barista?
Oddly enough, one of my friends who drove a Honda Element was a barista at one point.
Ben.
I've seen a Honda Element camped in with a dirt bike on the back in Pismo.
Yeah, I've also seen a freaking Honda Accord camped in.
I know. I've seen a Honda Element with nearly a pallet of Rebel inside. I'm telling you right now, man. And they make turbo kits for them. And they make a pop-up roof thing for them, so you can stand up inside.
Dude, you could put a freaking 1,000 horsepower LS in there, and I'd still walk right by it and go, Element. I would walk right past it. I don't even look.
I'm gonna say I was that way too. I thought Elements were the stupidest thing known to man. They're a stupid little box, whatever.
Listen, there's certain
Until I was my life aligned when I was closely more to them. I had friends that had them a lot. They are like, for the size that they are the most utilitarian vehicle in that size on the road, hands down. Fight me, like straight up,
Corey, why did you pump your fist?
because he knows.
I'm a big guy and I fit in there comfortably.
Oh, great. You're not gonna. I can't change my mind on that. Like I draw a hard line, and you passed it. You just stepped right over it and just like showed up in a Honda Element.
I have rallied. So I'm gonna get very specific with you guys, and if you guys if you know this area, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you guys obviously know I grew up, spent most of the time.
It's bad when
in
I say a
California.
Ford Escort is more manly than a Honda Element.
Okay, hold on. What year Escort?
Like late 80s. Like the one that looks like a
Like a Fox body?
yeah. I had one of those. Call
Okay.
it the Race Court.
That's probably the only exception. Okay. Yes. Those are cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, those are cool.
Okay. But I'm saying that
Ken Block redid one. It was badass.
and he's not doing a Honda Element.
He might have to listen to this episode.
Dude, okay, I was watching the show. I was watching the show on Netflix. It was like it was a race, like a drag race show, like the fastest car or something like that. You ever see that?
I watched all of them.
Yeah. So there was a
Pissed me
guy.
off. I don't
I know
what
it was it's kind of an annoying show, but there was a guy that had a Honda minivan that he like
Mhm.
built to the tilt.
I know
Remember
that
that
guy.
thing? Yeah.
I don't know, but he has a YouTube channel.
Like an
I've seen
Indian
it.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still not cool. Still, sorry.
So cool. Yeah.
Do you know what was cooler?
I'll escort myself out.
Was
and
that
shoot myself in the
crazy?
face.
That crazy guy with that little Datsun pickup that has like 7.3 turbos stacked.
Mhm.
And it just like looks ridiculous. Like that guy's. Like, you got me on this one, man.
I have been inside a Honda Element rallying the dirt hills behind Laguna Seca.
And Ben,
Going at very high rates of speed.
so that's what you would be driving is a Honda Element.
If I needed something that has to be utilitarian, I have to be able to use it, and it can't be a full size like SUV or anything like that. That would be it.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what I would drive. I'd probably go back to like the 70s or the 60s and get an El Camino or something, like a Ranchero,
Yeah.
like those real ugly years of a Ranchero.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like I would like. You wouldn't go there. You wouldn't go there. You'd still get a truck bed. Like that, I think is the easy way out. Like not a truck guy. Well, I'm a car truck guy. Oh my gosh.
Guarantee you the Honda Element has more useful cargo space than one of those. 100%.
I'd fight you on that.
We're gonna fight. We are gonna fight. Guarantee it.
Honda Element.
Yep.
Man. Where would you work?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I wasn't a truck guy, I wouldn't
The mall.
be here. 100%. Like, I don't know where I'd be, but
GameStop?
I'd probably be single.
Yeah, I'd 100% be single.
But going back to like my spiral of darkness,
Yeah.
like I know the kind of woman that I want in my life as my partner, and I'm pretty sure that I would have had to change that, because I don't think that I would have been able to achieve it.
I'm glad this is all like hypothetical stuff, and you know, this like you didn't actually think of like getting a Honda Element, did you?
If
Because it seems like you really like them, both of you. I feel like I'm ganged up on right now.
you always have those things in the back of your mind where it's like if I was in this situation, like if push, like it's not one of the first things I would buy, obviously, like because once you take off like a full size SUV, you're taking like a lot of the bat out of my hands here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you like me, the same question. Like I immediately go to like a classic car, or you know, like something like cool.
yeah,
It's like if I wasn't a truck guy, I'd be a classic car guy. So I'd be that guy driving a freaking, I don't know, a Chevelle with winter tires on it or something like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, for
like
me,
a Honda Element doesn't even come in my mind.
do you want to know what the close runner up would be?
Oh God. What? A freaking Chrysler Pacifica?
No.
What?
An early 2000s STI wagon. I just lost so many friends.
Oh my God, Ben.
The bug eye ones though, like the
Oh yeah, that makes it so much better.
blue with some gold BBI reels.
Yeah, you're gonna hang out with your lesbian friends and go.
Hey, it's not purple, all right?
It doesn't matter.
It's not purple. I would have to start vaping though.
Just go hug trees on the weekend. I love you, Forrest.
See, here's
I feel like you'd be at the spearhead of a, like, trying to stop a logging operation. Like you're that guy up there, like,
the thing is,
save the trees.
and this is where like where I think the Subaru crowd is split. Okay, yes, there are the LAVs, the lesbian assault vehicles, right? the Subarus, like the non-turbo ones, the wagon ones, or whatever. There is definitely that granola Subaru culture that's there. But I feel like inside that culture, the granola guys hate the STI guys, 100%. And it's because if you ever talk to someone who's like owned an STI, they cost a lot of money to maintain. They
Yeah.
don't get that great of mileage.
No.
They don't, and they take premium.
Yeah.
So like the whole granola thing, where like it gets like 30 miles a gallon and it's good. You know, I could take it. It's all-wheel drive everywhere. The STI is like the anti-granola of the granola brand.
Yeah. But it's still a Subaru.
Oh, it's still a Subaru. And trust me, I still wouldn't have my wife.
Yeah.
I'd probably be single
Yeah.
because I'd be spending all my money maintaining this damn Subaru.
Yeah.
And I'd hate myself.
Honda Element.
Yeah, on element.
Jesus, Ben.
Hey, if anybody's got experience with a Honda Element trying to be a man, sound off in the comments, please.
Or just leave.
All one of you.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Just don't even listen anymore.
I feel like this is going to be the make or break section of Jim Lawrence. He's either going to be like, "You're right," or he's going to disown me.
If Jim Lawrence doesn't disown you on this, I'm going to be upset with Jim Lawrence. And I'm going to start calling him Tim again.
Jim. Tim.
That's a different. Yeah, I didn't think that you had that in you there, bud. Thought we were the same bodies.
Same body.
No. I'm gonna just kind of. That's okay. I still love you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I just love you a little less.
One of these days, I'm going to find a Honda Element, and we're going to go for ripping it. And I'm not saying they are not like powerful, not fast by any means.
Not at all.
But
Yeah.
once you like
argument there.
once you like get inside one and see the usefulness and how the space is used inside, you may not be a fan of it and you may not like it, but you're kind of like, I get it.
I don't know if I ever.
I think you will.
I don't think you'll ever make me admit that. I don't. There's certain vehicles like the Chrysler Pacifica, and I would feel like the Honda Element is kind of in that same category of a small. A Pacifica is like a minivan / SUV.
Yeah, but it's round. Element is square.
Yeah, so is a freaking Kia Soul, square. Still stupid. It's
I guarantee you can fit more in a Kia Soul than you can in an Escort.
I don't care at that point when I'm fitting in there because I ain't hauling nothing. Especially,
How are you going to the dump?
there's people for that. You just,
Alright.
you just go call.
Well, I decided I still wanted to be a little bit of a man and be self-sufficient. I guess you're going to call
Okay.
for dump runs.
Man, Honda Element. Those two are two roads that never cross. Okay. Those are two highways that are going completely freaking opposite directions. Okay. There's no exit. There's no on ramp. You're just east west. See you bye.
3 of the coolest people I know have had, or I know 2 of them for sure don't anymore. What? One for sure doesn't, but two out of the 3 coolest people in my life have Honda Elements.
You need to know some more people. I'm sorry, man. Honda Element, dude. I remember a Honda Element. It was my buddy's uncle's work rig, and he did like telecommunications, like phone services. I remember him show up in that thing. I was like, that is the freak. I was like 8 years old. I'm like, that thing is freaking ugly.
Oh, they are. They're ugly as shit. I won't debate you there.
Like, why?
There's
Why'd
no,
you pick that?
There's no way to make it look cool. I've seen them with like stance kits on there and like different wheels and tires and stuff. Like they are not cool. Like don't get me wrong. Like it's purely a utilitarian type thing.
Pass. Hard pass. Hard pass.
I respect your decision.
Thank you. Well, this is the Tyler show now.
You know, I'm gonna pose that question to our listeners.
Oh God, please do.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't delete any comments.
I'm
'cause
not
I wanna
leaving
see
any
them all.
comments. I want to hear. This is going to be. I want to hear in the YouTube comments here. Okay. I want to hear if you were not a truck guy. Okay. And I don't remember the exact question that Tyler had. All I know is it shook me to the core. Is if you were not a truck dude, so you didn't have a truck and large SUV or anything like that, like who would you be? What would you have? What would would be your choice at that point? And I want to hear all about it. I want reasoning.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not a. If people agree with Ben on this, I think I'm done podcasting.
I think the only people that will disagree with me on this are those that have never actually tried to use a Honda Element for anything other than just a vehicle.
Because nobody wants one.
More for me. I'm going to build a fleet. Me and Corey and our homeboys, we're all going to be in Honda Elements.
Oh God.
We're going to put 1-inch spacers on them and run 30-inch BFGs on all of them. and BBI wheels just to piss you off.
Oh God.
Gold. All of them.
That's ridiculous. It's absurd.
There is a company out there making manual swaps for them, too.
Still not cool. Again, still not cool. There's literally, you could tell me like, you could put a Hellcat in an Element and it's like the fastest car ever built. I'd walk right by it. Like, oh, there's a Hellcat in there? That's a waste of money. Bye.
You give me an all-wheel drive Honda Element.
Listen, there's certain rigs.
turboed.
Yeah, there's certain rigs that you could build that are like not a cool like car to start with, but like you can do really cool stuff with them, you know, and make it like something that's like interesting. Not that. Not that. Like not that at all.
Me and Tyler are gonna have a fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch Ben right in the freaking mouth as soon as this podcast is over. Try to knock some sense into him.
And this was like 3 weeks of
I'm going to tell your
deliberation.
wife.
Do it.
I'm going to tell your wife.
Do it. And she'll tell you exactly what I told you right now. I would have dated him.
Yeah.
And I know. I know. That's why I'm a truck guy. 100%.
Wow.
This episode took a weird downward
Yeah,
spiral
I need
turn.
to. Yeah. It's going to be a rough morning tomorrow. I'm going to freaking.
He's going to go home and drink himself to sleep. And like,
So I could forget about this conversation.
one of my closest friends. Just pull the ripcord. I don't know if I can be friends with him anymore. Cass is going to be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Like, man, it's a Honda Element.
Oh, no, man. Cass is
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Exactly.
You're going to pull up a picture and she'll be like, Ben said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be like, yeah, no, you
She's
should be
like,
friends
yeah,
with
he
him.
sucks.
It's just-
I'm going to tell Lynette.
yeah. Just
She's going to send a picture of Lynette. Probably the same time I'm explaining to Lynette that me and Tyler's friendship is terminated.
yeah.
And Lynette's going to be like, yeah, that thing's super lame. I'm like, I know. She's like, didn't Louis have one of those? I'm like, yeah. Like, didn't John have one of those? Yeah. Didn't Daniel have one of those? Yeah. Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
Like, I know, but they work.
Work for, some people. But I did not picture you that. Okay. Anyways, enough about that. 'Cause I'm going to shoot Ben here in a second. Here.
Okay, so we're going to end this right now, but real quick.
Okay.
Do you picture me more in an STI wagon or an Element?
Oh, my God.
You have to pick one.
I have to pick one.
You have to pick one.
Well, I have to go with the STI because there's no way that I would ever side on the side of a freaking Honda Element, you freak. You weirdo. God. That's absurd. It's absurd.
Corey, I'll take your vote too. STI. All right, I agree. Like, if all things considered, I do prefer an STI wagon over an Element, and honestly, I wanted an STI wagon.
Okay, when I
before
see an STI wagon, that's a woman's vehicle. Any STI or Subaru, that's like a woman's.
Any Subaru or any like
Subaru, yeah. Yeah.
Subaru
any
in general, just period.
That's a woman's brand. That's like Coach. It's like, like Pantene Pro V or something, it's like it's not like
Keep going, man. Let's hear it.
I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything, but it's just like that is like a rig that's like designed around like women. It's low. You can put a lot of stuff in the back. It's like a small, lower minivan. And you got the Honda Element, which is like,
The man vehicle.
well, maybe it's a transgender vehicle. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Just try to fit it into a gender category.
Oh God.
Listen, I don't make the rules here. Okay, this is life, and this is how it goes.
And we're all just on a rock spinning
Like,
through the
men?
galaxy.
Listen, I don't care if you didn't have a truck. You're still a man. So you either drive like a 69 Camaro or you drive like a Trans Am or like an IROC or something like
IROC.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or you drive
Detox.
something like that, or you drive it's either you drive that or you drive something that has 4-wheel drive. Like that to me is like, okay, does it have 4-wheel drive? No. Is it a muscle car? No, then don't buy it. If you don't fit in those categories, then
Element's full drive.
Hey.
So is STI.
there's a group for you. It's called LGBTQ plus 5 or whatever the hell it is.
Plus STI.
Yeah, plus STI. So you, get a bunch of STDs in that STI from the same gender.
Boost. Give you a boost.
Yeah.
Put your mask on. Take it off. Get a booster.
It seems that Ben has been infected with the LGBTQ plus community cars.
STI.
STIs. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that wraps up this episode. Next week it'll be just me talking about diesel trucks and man shit.
I'm gonna be out knitting.
He's gonna be out, I don't know, at Joanne Fabrics trying to pick out a good fabric he can use as some sort of curtain.
Joanne Fabrics. Quick story about Joanne Fabrics.
I actually have to go to that store.
I'm sure you do.
I do. I need some fabric for my some waterproof type of material for my little thing I made for the dog in the backseat, the side by side.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Next.
Yeah. So I was right at the beginning of the pandemic, right when like masks became a thing.
Take it off, put it on.
Take it off, put it on. I went to the shopping center by our house where the UPS is because I had to drop a package for my wife. Because as women know, y'all return 95% of the things you buy.
Yeah.
Never got it. Not gonna fight it. Whatever. And I go there, and it's like right at the beginning of like wear a mask, 6 feet, like everything. It's like tense as hell.
Yeah.
And like the shopping center, it's got like there's like a gas station. There's like a Safeway, I think, or it was what's the one in France that's right there by Country Homes? There's like a Burger King, a Starbucks.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts. There's
Is it Yolks? No, it's not Yolks.
no, it's like Albertsons, I think.
Whatever,
Anyways,
grocery
yeah.
store. And it's like when they're like metering people going in.
Yeah.
So like you can't go, like you have to have like 40 people at a time or something like that.
Right.
And so you can see all these people standing outside.
Like they're waiting for the new PlayStation.
Yeah. And it's like 9 in the morning. Actually, probably 8:30, 9 in the morning, something like that. And Joanne's Fabrics is fucking popping.
Really? Oh, people
Make masks.
they're making masks.
Yeah. And like the UPS little spots like right next to her, like it's like 2 or 3 places slots down from Joanne Fabrics. And the line from Joanne's was like morphing into the line to get into UPS. The UPS is like a shoebox compared to
Oh,
Joanne.
Yeah.
And so I'm like looking, I'm like, damn. Like, shit's going down at Joanne Fabrics. Don't catch me at Joanne's. Catch these hands. Get my fabric. Get my elastic. Get a mask. Joanne Fabrics. Fight me.
Yeah.
Wow. It was aggressive.
Is that your story?
That's all I got. It's Joanne Fabrics popping.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're out of fabrics now, and it's just Joanne in there.
Yeah. Just,
Hey, it's me, Joanne. Come on in. JoJo says hi. I got some decor. No fabrics.
Yeah. No fabric.
No fabrics.
No fabrics today.
I was going to wrap this one up. This one got
Yeah.
weird real fast. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
dude.
guys. I'll be honest. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit tighter next time. I'm going to go, I don't know.
Do all of us a favor and never speak again of a Honda Element.
The only thing that's going to help me regain Tyler's trust is this weekend, I'm going to go get drunk in a helicopter, kill a moose.
Okay. Pretty sure that's not legal, but awesome. Do it. Okay. All right. You got to do a burnout or something. You got to get your man card back in front of a Honda Element. Like find one in a parking lot and power brake it and just. That's the only way. It's the only way.
Challenge accepted.
All right. We waiting for that.
If I come across a Honda Element and I am able to tape myself brake
I'm gonna like
standing
slash every tire of a Honda Element that I see.
at or near it, I will do it. And we'll post it on the show's Instagram for all 4 people that follow it to see it.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's wrap this up. I gotta freaking use the bathroom.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate all of you. I know this one got a little weird. If you like the weirdness, let us know, because if people like it, we'll keep doing it.
Maybe.
Maybe. If we don't kill each other or fight in the first place. Because after all, we are all on a rock, hurtling
Through nothingness.
through nothingness. And that nothingness that's infinite is getting bigger.
It's expanding.
It's expanding. So what you knew about nothingness, the size that is right now, it's bigger now.
Yeah. So bye.
Sweet dreams. Good night.